sell the team's not good enough. Even if they make the playoffs, they won't last that long. So what's the point? That's some of the vibe that you hear in Vancouver Canucks conversation. We addressed that with our own perspective on the Shifts and Pucks podcast on Monday, and we have a bit of a different view on this.
Yeah, and I think, if they were to really fall out of it, I think it would give more definition to what the strategy should be in the off season. And for the sell people, if you fall just a point short, maybe that muddies the plan a little bit. Is that kind of what you're getting at, Kev?
I think what I'm reading is this, that even if this team makes the playoffs, they're not going to win a round. So what's the point?
Well, I mean, don't make me go on about losing.
No, I actually kind of want you to, because I'm with you.
Why do we friggin' play then?
Yeah, like I'm with you. Like, to me, and this is where I'll
where I stand on this.
No, because I'll back you on it. To me, it's frustrating because we have seen teams from 8th place positions win Stanley Cups. We've seen, like, it happens. And I'm not saying the Vancouver Canucks get into the playoffs are going to win the Stanley Cup. But for the love of God, why do you not want your team to win? Like, what is this whole... Let me go on a rant here, and I'm going to probably piss some people off. This whole window thing that everybody keeps talking about is mostly bullshit. If you actually have studied the winners of the Stanley Cup, it has been very rare that a team has built a contender in the exact window that every single one of these modelists, graphists, all of these guys, all of these people doing this has led to believe. Look at this, the team that the Canucks played tonight, the St. Louis Blues. Mm-hmm. They pretty much were in last place overall in the first half of the season, and then they turned it around and they won the Stanley Cup. The Nashville Predators went from 8th place to a Stanley Cup final. Like, we keep using this window thing. Like, oh, if we build exactly like this, we can win the cup in the year 2026. That's not going to work. It never has, and it never, ever, 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 ever will. I guarantee it.
The only way it works is if you have pure... you absolutely have a generational player like a Crosby, and you nail everything right. You get everything right. There's nothing, even if you have mistakes, you immediately make up for them. And the whole thing, like, I've gone through this before. The average age of cup winning teams, if you take out the anomalies of the Crosby led Penguins and the young Hawks, they're older teams. They're late 20s teams. And that's what it is. And the other thing is progression matters. Progression fucking matters. You have to progress. You can't just be bad until you hit your window and then you can win. No, you have to continue to progress. The Penguins had to learn how to win in the playoffs. The Hawks had to learn how to win in the playoffs. And the Caps, the Blues, they all went through that.
The Canucks from 2006 to 2009, 2008, 2009, 2010. The Lightning, exactly.
Yeah. You have to, and you can't just say, well, what's the point? The point is experience and progression. Experience and progression matter. You need to be cheering for this team to go as far as they can, because the better that makes Quinn Hughes better, that makes Elias Pettersson better, that makes Höglander better, that makes Podkolzin better, that makes Demko better.
The other thing
is the core of this team.
Hope and belief too, right? It's not just for the fans; it's for the team itself. It's for potential free agents you might be chasing. I mean, if you're just throwing the towel in on the season and with 10 games left because we don't think we're going to win the first round anyways. I mean, how are you supposed to run a friggin' professional sports operation like that?
And
I'm going to use a quote from Herman Edwards. of the New York Jets back in the day. You play to win the game.
Yeah.
You should cheer for your team to win the game. Like if we're talking about the last like 5 games and they're out of the playoffs, sure, why not? Team tank, let's go. But they're in it. Cheer for it.
The fact that they got themselves from where they were at 8 and 20 something games when Green got fired to where they are now. They are actually 5-6 games above 500. A pretty impressive swing in the same season. Sure, it's not St. Louis Blues in 2019 good, but obviously St. Louis had a special thing going on that season that allowed that to happen, because it's very rare that you can out-Bruin the Bruins in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, and we should remind everybody, again, if you missed the playoffs, the first round is determined by a lottery. Okay? Yeah. There is the lottery. It is a lottery. It is not anything certain. That's number one. And number two, if you really want to solve the problem around whether we should tank or not, how about just draft and develop and manage your team better? Yeah, I mean, the Canucks have cleaned house. Let's give this group a chance. Just see how the season plays out, and see how Jim Rutherford and his shiny new front office with all these great hockey minds, see what they can do in the offseason. Then let's revisit the idea of whether they should be in a tank phase or not.
They also want to properly evaluate the team as well. You don't want to intentionally lose to get a better draft pick that you're not guaranteed, like Tyler just brought up, when you have a new management group that is trying to properly evaluate the team and try and figure out how they want to chart us to a contending team.
I would get this if Jim Benning and Travis Green were still around and, they were scuffling and, realistically they're not going to make the playoffs. Okay, yes, then it's a bit more of a scenario where you want to kind of drop the bomb on the thing and go in a different direction. They're already going in a different direction. They got a new management group in place. They got a new coach. Mm-hmm. Just let it ride, guys.
I have the confidence in Rutherford and Alvin and that management group that they know that no matter what happens this season with the cap and everything that they have to deal with, there's going to be major changes to this roster in this offseason. And as much as I like Brock Besser, I don't see him in a Canucks jersey to start next season, because I think they're going to be looking for more speed on the wings, because that is what brought the Penguins success. And Kev, you've used this comparison before, in that Sidney Crosby is the most talented grinder in the game, and when Elias Pettersson is on his game, he plays a very similar style, where he is a very, very skilled grinder. He works his ass off, 200-foot game, and he's going to make an impact in all 3 zones, even if he doesn't score. And he did that. He did a little bit of that tonight. Not anywhere near what we want from him, sort of consistently, but you could still see that. And you can add some more speed on the wings, and you can sort of figure out what this blue line looks like going forwards. I don't think this team's as far off as many people are making it out to be. But they still need to make some bold moves to make that happen. And I don't think they're scared to do so.
Yeah, and specifically to bold moves, you brought up Besser, Sean. Bold moves has to include some material change to the core. We've been on this, I think, is in this group here for a couple of years now, where people like the core and they love the players and their character guys and everything, but there has to be on the table some significant change to the core of the team. I think is necessary if they really want to get serious about being a contender. But that is for the off season.
What do you think? Are things a bit too negative in Vancouver Canucks land around the fans, the media, and the experts? Let us know. Follow us on Twitter at Shifts and Pucks, Facebook.com Shifts and Pucks, YouTube.com Shifts and Pucks, Twitch.com Shifts and Pucks. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network.